What are we today? The 14th? 12, 13, 14.
The 13th.
13th. We're here for the council meeting. Call to order, please.
Mayor Gerardo Sanchez,
Present.
Vice Mayor Matias Rosales,
Present.
Councilmember Mario Buchanan Jr.,
Present.
Councilmember Luis Cabrera,
Present.
Councilmember Africa Luna Carrasco,
Present.
Councilmember Jose Ponce, Councilmember Gloria Torres,
Present.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Sonia. Pledge of Allegiance. Chief, can you lead us on the Pledge of Allegiance in the chambers?
I sure can. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Can
I'll
you
go
continue with the invocation?
Yes, sir. Let's pray. Father, we thank you tonight for your goodness and your grace. And as we exit an old year that we seem to want to forget at times, we pray that going into 2021, that this will be a year of healing, not only to our nation and everything that is happening in Washington, D.C., but you would begin to heal the states, especially Arizona. You'd begin to heal our community here in San Luis as well. We pray that you would guide us and keep us and protect us, keep us from the COVID-19. We pray that it would begin to go away as the vaccine is available. We pray, Lord, that you would just calm families with the things that you want to do and the things that you have given us the opportunity as the mayor, the vice mayor, council, and staff to fulfill our obligations that you've entrusted to us and as the people have entrusted to us. We thank you for your goodness and your grace. We ask it in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chief. All right. Item number 4, consent agenda. All matters considered to be routine by City Council will be enacted by one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be discussed separately, considered separately. Minutes of work session held December 2nd, 2020. Regular council meetings held December 9, 2020. Special council meeting held December 22, 2020. Disbursements from December 12th, 2020 to December 31st, 2020. Total disbursements, $913,242.44. Do I hear your motion?
Vice Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Torres. We have a second by Ms. Carrasco. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Any against? Nay? No nays? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Item number 5, discussion and possible actions. Item number 5A, discussion and possible action on any and all matters regarding the appointment and or reappointment of the member to serve the Greater Yuma Port Authority GYPA, Tadeo de la Hoya. And we did this already. Tadeo?
Yes, Vice Mayor. The terms for the city's 2 representatives expired this month. So right now we have yourself and Mr. Frank Rascon serving on the GYPA. That 5-year term started back in 2015. Both of you have interest in continuing serving on this board up to council as to his appointment.
Okay, and we verify with Mr. Rascon?
Yes, both of you are interested in continuing to serve on the board.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any questions or concerns from the council members? Mr. Bucanas?
No, none.
Okay, Ms. Carrasco?
None, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cabrera?
Just who's Mr. Rascon? Is he like an employee for the city or he's a community member?
He is a business owner. He owns Rascon Trucking at the industrial park.
Okay. Good, thank you. No other questions.
All right, thank you. Mayor?
No questions.
Okay, did Ms. Torres respond? Did I ask Ms. Torres?
No, no comments.
No. Okay, ¿y quién me falta? Mr. Ponce?
No questions. Thank you.
Okay. And just for you guys to know, we have the meetings normally once a month, and they are open to the public. We try to alternate them, but normally recently they've been at the county building, since that's where the executive director has her temporary offices. So, you know, it's always posted in the agenda, and if you guys ever want to attend, the meetings are open to the public except for executive session, so you're welcome to always join. No further discussions. Do I have a motion?
I move to appoint, Matias Rosales and Mr. Frank Rascon to serve on the Greater Yuma Port Authority.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Cabrera, a second by Mr. Ponce. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any nays? No nays, okay, motion passes, carries, thank you.
Thank you.
Item number B.
Before you continue, can you just elaborate a little bit on the, GYPA board?
If you want, we could go ahead, I mean, what do you mean in the board, in regards to who the members are?
Yeah, like, just what do you guys do there?
Well, if se quieres, we'll schedule a meeting para que te hagan una formal presentation, since you're a new council member, Buna George, the economic director. But the board, basically, what we do is we work for different projects for the community that would create job economic growth for Yuma County, not just for San Luis. The members is City of Yuma, the Cocopa tribe, the county, and the city of San Luis. It's been around for 15 years, I think, or more. They're the ones that worked and created the port of entry number 2, that were able to secure their land and get that project done. And right now, we're working on that industrial park, Magrino Park. So, si quieres, we'll go ahead and do a presentation from Ms. Buna. She's the executive director. If there's any questions or anything, she could give a good presentation.
Thank you. I'll reach out to you, Matias.
All right, no problem. Let's see, item number B was public hearing followed by discussion and possible action on any and all matters regarding the recommendation of the liquor license application submitted to the Arizona Department of Liquor and controlled by Teresa June Morse on behalf of Pizzas and Beer located at 1964 Cesar Chavez Boulevard, Unit number 6, San Luis, Arizona. Sonia?
Vice Mayor, Mayor, council members, you would have to open the public hearing.
Okay, motion to open public hearing?
So
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any nays? None? Okay, motion, public hearing open. Staff?
The city clerk's office received the application for Pizzas and Beer, and it was posted at the conspicuous place for the number of days required, which is 20 days. And my office did not receive any comments in favor of or against the application. Staff recommends the approval of the recommendation of the application.
Okay, thank you. Was the applicant informed of today's meeting, or did they join? Are they present?
They're not present virtually.
Okay. Virtually nor in person, correct?
Neither in person or remotely.
Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead and call to the public. Is anyone from the public, online, virtually, or in person, that would like to speak on this item?
This is Mayor Sanchez. I'll just make a comment regarding the businesses. We need competition. We need, this is a good business. They've invested heavily in Mexicali, San Luis, Rio Colorado, Sonora, and now they're investing in San Luis, Arizona. And so it is a very competitive market, but I think it's going to be good. We need diversity. We need different businesses. And I really appreciate the business owner of thinking of San Luis, Arizona. And I just want to say congratulations to the owner, and let's get it done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
I
Second.
have a motion and I have a second by Mr. Ponce. All right, action on the recommendation of the liquor license applicant to Arizona Department. Do I have a motion?
Vice
Thank
Mayor,
you.
Go ahead, Ms.
ahead.
Torres.
okay. I move to recommend approval of a liquor license application to the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control for pizzas and beer as presented.
Second.
Okay, we had a motion, we had a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any against? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, guys. Item C, public hearing followed by discussion and possible action on all matters regarding the recommendation of allowing delinquent water and wastewater accounts without or in breach of payment plan agreements to be submitted to the collection service and charging the service 20% collections commission to the account balance. Mr. Jorge Perez, motion to open public hearing.
Moved.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bucanas, a second by, I think it was Ms. Carrasco. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? Okay, motion carries. Presentation by staff or applicant. Mr. Who's up there?
Good evening, I'm standing in for Jorge, excuse me. This item is just to allow for us to add to the collection service the fee that they would like to have. So since this is in a way an increase in charges, it goes through this formal process.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or anything? This is open to the public. Council members, any questions? Mr. Bucanas?
None. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Carrasco?
None, Vice Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cabrera?
No, thank you, Vice Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Ponce?
No, thank you.
Okay, Mayor?
I think we were very thorough when we discussed this item, and thank you so much. Let's just make sure that we continue assisting our community the best we can, and let's thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Call to the public, anyone virtually or in person in regards to this?
And Sonia, was there any emails commenting on this one?
The city clerks did not receive any comments or emails in favor of or against this item.
And for the record, Sonia, this was posted,
This
And
was
public?
posted last Thursday.
okay, all right,
In addition,
online and in print?
there was posting also on the website for 60 days.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. So that's 60 days plus posted. All right, thank you. All right, so motion to close public hearing.
So moved.
Got a first, got a first by Mr. Cabrera, second by Mr. Ponce. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any nays? Okay, motion passes. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve water and wastewater accounts which either do not have a payment plan or are in breach of the payment plan to be submitted to a collection service and up to a 20% collection commission be charged to account balance.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, Ms. Torres has a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item D, 5D, discussion and possible action on all matters regarding resolution number 2151, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona, declaring as a public record those certain documents filed with the city clerk and entitled NFPA 1 Fire Code 2018 and the city of San Luis amendments to NFP 1 Fire Code Item continued from special meeting, December 22nd. Okay. Or Glenn, or who's presenting this?
I guess it's me. The purpose of the resolution is to declare the fire code a public record so it can be adopted as a public record, which avoids us a whole bunches of costs in publication fees. This is not, by adopting this resolution, you're not yet adopting the code. Does anyone have any questions?
So by adopting the resolution, we're not adopting the code, we're just making record of.
You're
documents
just
filed,
saying
you
that
say?
the code is, that 3 copies are on file with the clerk. This is the code itself. And that it's, you're saying that it's on file with the clerk and it's a public record. You will be, when you adopt ordinance 405, that's when you'll be adopting the code. The resolution allows you to adopt the code by reference, thereby cutting back our publication fees.
I was gonna ask, is there a reason why we don't do the other item first and after we approve it, go and do this item? Is there?
Yeah, you approve this first, so it's a public record, so we then adopt it by reference.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word for that, it's on a record, okay? Any questions from the council members, Mr. Bucanas?
No, none.
Okay, Ms. Carrasco,
None, Vice Mayor, thank you.
Mr. Cabrera,
None, thank you.
Ms. Torres,
No, thank you.
Mr. Ponce,
No, sir, thank you.
Mayor.
No questions, thank you.
What? Ralph, you have questions? So we have motion?
Vice Mayor, you're cutting out. Can you repeat?
Do we have a motion?
Vice Mayor, we couldn't hear a word of what you said. Can you repeat?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Did you
I'm
guys hear me
Yes.
go down the list?
yes, I move to approve resolution number 2151 as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Ponce, a second by Mr. Cabrera. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any against? Okay, motion passes. Hold on a second, give me a second here real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Trying to see what's going on with the Wi-Fi here. Okay. All right, next item is, let me see, return back to the agenda. ¿Cuál vamos? 5E?
Yes.
Discussion and possible action on any and all matters regarding ordinance number 405, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona, amending the San Luis City Code, chapter 150, building regulations to adopt the NFPA 1 Fire Code 2018 and the city of San Luis amendments to the NFP 1 Fire Code 2018, repealing section 150-008-1 in its entirety and renumbering sections 150-008-2 through 150.008.4 to conform thereto, amending section 150.999 penalty, repealing any conflicting provisions and providing for severability. Item continued from special council meeting held December 2020. All right, chief, staff, who's there today? For this item?
Honorable Vice Mayor, Mayor, members of council, I think I'll start this off. My understanding is that council had some questions about how this code would apply to existing buildings, and particularly concern about older buildings and sprinklers. Basically, there are grandfather provisions in this code, but they operate a little differently than zoning code. The grandfather provisions of this code state specifically that unless otherwise specified by sections 1.32, 4.1, and 1 through 13243, the current provisions of the reference standards shall not apply to facilities, equipment, structures, or installations that existed or were approved for construction prior to the effective date of this code. Now, those particular sections are very narrow and are basically safety related. And Rick is here to do that and to explain when that would kick in. With respect to sprinklers and other particular, when a building changes occupancy, which would tripwire the sprinkler provisions, basically what this code allows, like all building codes, they are goal related. And so therefore there are provisions that allow the Fire Prevention Division to be able to accept alternatives that achieve safety. If someone comes in and says, I can't afford sprinklers, but I can do these things to help protect the property and keep people safe, the fire department can consider alternatives. And like the building department can accept alternatives because the codes are goal-oriented. And so it doesn't have to be a specific thing with an older building, as long as, in the opinion of the fire department, safety is achieved. And I'll let Rick and Angel describe this.
So basically, any kind of existing building, to retrofit that building is double the cost of a brand new building with sprinklers. And we realize that, and we work with the community to make adjustments to the building to become more compliant. Generally, that's asking for maybe wireless smoke detectors with an alarm system. It lets us know something's going on at 2 a.m. so we don't have another Soul Market incident. We've always worked with the community. I understand finances, I understand the burden, and we've, like I said, always worked with them to try to raise the compliance of an existing building if there's a major change of occupancy.
Like Rick was saying, we are here to provide safety for the fire department, but we're here to also work with our community. We're not trying to hinder our community from trying to expand or trying to fulfill a dream, but we're trying here to help the fire department and help find ways to help also our community.
The provisions on, if you will, accepting alternatives to the code are on a case-by-case building, and therefore allow the department to do this on a building-by-building, case-by-case, use-by-use arrangement. And therefore, they get to do hand-carved deals per particular structure, as long as they are convinced that what's going to happen keeps people safe. And those are the provisions of this existing code that you have tonight.
My concern with the code, and I know I had sent some emails just to clarify, was 2 points. One was that I noticed that, it fell below any building that was 500 square feet, up to 500 square feet. In the older parts of town, to me, that was, a little bit too small. I know other cities, and I didn't verify it, but I did ask, and some inspector told me that in Yuma, it's 1,000 square feet of the building size for this stuff to go in. My other concern was that, yes, I understand what you're saying, that this is up to building and to work with the community. Gratefully, right now, we have great staff like you guys, chiefs and our inspector that understand that, but my concern is what happens when there's a change of staff and they don't understand that or have that vision, and then they go, oh, well, this is what the code is. So that was what my concern is. We wanted to make sure we had something for especially our old downtown area, which has these older buildings that we were trying to redevelop to work with our redevelopment plan for downtown. So if you guys are telling me that it's open-minded and it's in writing, I'm okay with that. My only concern was the size. I wish we could go up to 1,000 square feet because a lot of these older buildings are under 1,000 square feet, and I think it would help a lot of the extra work that you guys have to go through. But, you guys are, I don't know if you guys saw that there or not. Did you guys confirm the size of the building? If 500 or 1,000 would be the norm, especially for older downtowns like ours?
Typically, the older downtown area is all mercantile, so there normally isn't a change of occupancy. So that wouldn't justify anything. The only time that it may justify it is if we have somebody come in with hazardous materials. That's the only time that we would even think about entertaining the idea of sprinklers.
So let me use an example here, and I say this because we've seen it change different times. A restaurant located on B Street and what is it, 4th? I think right now it's Birreria. That thing has been 5 different types of food eateries. If it were to close down, hopefully it doesn't, but if it were to close down in a year from now, someone wants to open a different type of restaurant, are they gonna have to go through the sprinkler upgrades and all that stuff? Or is that something that, by the way the ordinance is written, it's downtown, it's an older building, we're not gonna make them spend $40,000 to reopen another restaurant there?
No, absolutely not.
That was my concern, and what I was trying to protect the downtown community in that area. New construction, I get it. It's new, you're doing that investment, you gotta follow the code, that's a whole different ballgame. I'm talking about our older buildings and businesses down.
If they're not really changing the type of use, the grandfather provisions would kick in and no new changes would not apply.
But see, I've been told that after a year, then it would apply. So what
No,
if it's closed for a year and 2
that's
months?
zoning. Zoning says that if you have a non-conforming use and you abandon it, and you do not occupy the property or use it for a year, then you have to comply with the zoning code. The building code is different. It has no time limits on it. It is it is safety oriented. So if you're continuing the same kind of use and you've complied with older fire codes when you did, you're fine. It's only if you do such a change of use or the building becomes unsafe, then you have to all of a sudden start complying. It's safety oriented, not time oriented.
Okay, thank you. So, and what about the sizing? Are we okay with the 500 square feet or 1,000? I mean, how does that affect?
Vice Mayor, the 500 square feet is generated by our staffing levels. For a residential house, which is normally 1,500 square feet, NFPA 1710 says that we need at least 14 firefighters and then IC and a safety officer. That's 16 folks on a residential fire. If we step up to a strip mall or an apartment complex, we're looking at 27 minimal. We don't have that on staff. That's what drives, the square footage is what drives, I'm sorry, the staffing levels is what drives the square footage requirement.
So for 1,000 square feet, what is that requirement?
For 1,000 square foot, we need at least 14 on staff. That's what we have currently.
Okay, and 500, you would need the same amount.
I'm sorry?
And 500 would be the same amount, the 14 on staff.
Correct, but in reality, who builds a 500 square foot building?
Okay, so that's for new construction. That's not for old remodels then?
No,
Okay, that's
no.
where I was confused.
It's
Okay,
only for new
all right.
construction, sir.
Okay, all right. Well, the only person I could see building something like that is someone who wants to open a small dealership and just have an office space in there, but who knows? But okay, I get it. All right, thank you. I'll go and open it up to the other council members. Mr. Bucanas?
Oh, no questions. I like your question on the 500 or 1,000 square feet. Will that make a difference? No, I think it's a good idea and good question. Thank you.
Mrs. Carrasco?
None, thank you.
Mr. Cabrera?
No questions, Vice Mayor. Thank you for advocating for our businesses.
Thank you. Mr. Ponce?
No, Vice Mayor, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Torres?
No, no comment.
Okay, Mayor?
Thank you. No comments. Actually, thank you for, we have to be proactive, especially the sprinklers. Sprinklers can be very, very expensive, and those good comments regarding La Lavanderia. And the thing is, small businesses are starting up in San Luis. And the thing is, we need to get ready for them. And this is just a way to help them out. So thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You know what, thank you, Mayor. Well, let me ask you a question, since you brought that up, who would build 500 or, but okay, those old lots, like on 4 Cesar Chavez, those are 5,000 square foot lots, some are 4,500 square feet lot. So if someone, because of parking requirements, needs to build a 700 square foot building, because those lots are small, I think that's where that 500 or 1,000 square feet will make a difference if they have to spend an extra $20,000 to put fire sprinklers on a 700 square foot building versus a 500. So,
Vice
I mean,
Mayor,
that's-
Mayor,
yeah.
That will destroy a business. So, no, that's good. That's good that we're proactive. And the thing is, there will be a time when we can afford the sprinkler system. But for now, let's work with what we have, and let's just try to do what we can. Thank you.
So you're okay with the 500, Mayor, or?
500 is fine.
Okay, all right. Chief, do you have who's there? Sorry, I can't see who's on the podium.
Rick has something
Mr. Rick?
that he wants to share.
so
So,
Vice Mayor, on a new building, the average cost for a sprinkler system is $1.50 to $1.80 a square foot. Engineering is 50 cents a square foot. That's on a brand new building. If you need to retrofit, then yes, of course, the cost goes up. But that's for a brand new building.
We
Oh,
have
okay,
very-
all right.
We
All right,
have
that makes
very
sense.
few buildings we would need to retrofit. Please understand, the city for the longest time had an ordinance that said, you're building a commercial building, you will put in sprinklers. We don't care what the size is. And that ordinance was done by Otone Luna, and it stayed on our books until 2010. So there's only a handful of buildings that didn't get sprinklers to begin with.
Okay, no, that helps, Rick. That price point, that makes it more in perspective. So thank you. That gives me ease of mind too, for those locations that are vacant. Thank you, guys. All right. Any other questions? No more questions. We went through everybody already. Any other questions from any other staff members? Anyone? Any other departments that might be affected by this? Anyone there? No one? In person? On the line? No? Okay. Hearing none, I will now entertain a motion. Motion?
Vice Mayor, I move to approve the reading of ordinance number 405 by title only.
Thank you, Mr. Ponce. Got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bucanas. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any against? Thank you. Sonia?
Ordinance number 405. An ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of the City of San Luis, Arizona, amending the San Luis City Code, Chapter 150, Building Regulations to adopt the NFPA 1, Fire Code 2018, and the City of San Luis amendments to the NFPA 1, Fire Code 2018, repealing Section 150.008.1 in its entirety and renumbering Sections 150.008.2 through 150.008.4 to conform thereto, amending Section 150.999 penalty, repealing any conflicting provisions and providing for severability.
Thank you, Sonia. Do I have a motion for item B?
Vice Mayor, I move to approve and adopt ordinance number 405 as presented.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? Motion passes. Thank you, staff, for working and doing the research for me, for us. Thank you, sir. All right, let's see what's next. Return to my agenda. Where we at? 5F? 5F. Discussion and possible action and any and all matters regarding ordinance number 406, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, adding the subsection titled payback agreements to the city of San Luis City Code Building Regulations, Chapter 150. Mr. Gimbit?
Honorable Mayor, members of City Council, we entered into a payback agreement with Riddell Holdings for County 23rd and a half, which required us to develop and put in place an ordinance that would provide for payback pursuant to that particular agreement. In looking around the state, I found an ordinance at Scottsdale, and I have modeled this ordinance after that. Basically, what this does is allow us to have a total program, an organized program for payback agreements, not just for County 23rd and a half, and not just for Riddell Holdings, but for anyone in the future that should ever want to come in and develop a property, and we want off-site development that isn't adjacent to that particular subdivision. By having an organized system of payback, then we're going to be, if you will, ahead of the game as we march forward, and that's what this does. It provides for submitting an application, providing data and systems for setting up a system for a fair payback, and then for a development agreement that goes along with it. This actually is at staff level approval. It doesn't require coming into council each and every time. If you will, the ordinance more or less is straightforward and sort of speaks for itself here. And so if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Glenn. Okay, I mean, I didn't see any issues with it. Let me go down the list from council members. Mr. Bucanas?
No questions.
Ms. Carrasco?
No questions.
Mr. Cabrera?
No questions, thank you.
Ms. Torres?
No question.
Mr. Ponce?
No, Vice Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Mayor?
No questions.
Thank you. Okay, hearing none. Any other questions? Anyone? Staff members? Anyone? Someone? Okay. All right. Do I have your motion?
I move to, or is it the motion for B, right?
Adam, A first.
Okay. I move to approve the reading of ordinance number 406 by title only.
Thank you.
Second.
Got a motion. You got a motion. Mr. Ponce, second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Anyone against? Say nay. Motion carries. Thank you. Do I have a motion for item B? Sonia, go ahead. Sorry, Sonia.
Ordinance number 406, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona, amending the San Luis City Code, Chapter 150, Building Regulations, to add subsections 150.014D, payback agreements, and 150.014E, payback charges, to 150.014 additional regulations, repealing any conflicting provisions and providing for severability.
Thank you, Sonia. Do you have a motion?
Yes, I move to approve and adopt ordinance number 406 as presented.
Thank you,
Second.
Ms. Torres. Ms. Torres, thank you, and second from Mr. Bucanas. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? Okay, all ayes, motion passes. Thank you. Item 5G, discussion and possible action regarding ordinance number 407, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona, amendment the city code section 112-99, establishing a minimum fine in the border area for conducting taxi cab business on public property not designated as a border area taxi stand or border area waiting stand, repealing any conflicting provisions, providing for severability, and imposing a penalty. Staff?
Mayor, may I?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, I would like to abstain myself from this following items, 5G, 5H, and 5I, for possible conflict of interest.
Understood, noted for the record. Thank you, Mr. Bucanas. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. This was discussed at the work session, and so I put myself as the presenter, but all the departments that are involved are here. This is a parking fine for taxis to put, if a taxi company sets up a taxi stand on public property that's for public parking, that specifically is made clear that that's a violation. That's already against the law because only the city sets up taxi stands on public property, but this is just to make that clear. And in addition, it imposes a minimum fine of $250, just not for money-making purposes, but for deterrence purposes.
Okay, can you give us an example of the situation, just for the record?
We only have one taxi stand near the border, and that was we started, we've always just had the one, but last year we moved it based on the recommendation from the EPA study that was done in anticipation of the port of entry expanding, and we moved the taxi stand to the east to start to eliminate the vehicle and pedestrian conflicts there, and to help the emergency vehicles that do very many runs to the port of entry. So we've trying to, I think last year, Mr. Cabrera wasn't here, but we had some pretty dramatic video footage of the fire departments from their dash cam trying to make it to the border, and pedestrians and vehicles darting in front of them. So we're trying to stop that situation. But then people were
okay,
putting up,
okay.
yes.
Sorry, I meant an example. For example, if a user is at Chase Bank and they call taxi directly, and the taxi picks them up at the Chase parking lot, will they be fined or no?
No, if they're on private property, we don't control that. And also, you can call a cab and say, pick me up at such and such place, or you can be a pedestrian and hail a cab to pick you up. But the problem is actually setting up on the curb and doing your business there.
Okay, so if I get out of Chase and I call a taxi, but I get picked up on the side of the road on 95 with the meters at or the parking, so you can pick me up, he pulls over, picks me up, and there's an officer behind him, can he fine him for picking me up there? Not that he's parked there, but if I call a car and I get picked up there, is he gonna be fined?
No.
No, he wouldn't. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. I think what I can do is maybe give a little bit of clarification. So if they're being hailed and they're picking up and dropping off and those things, that's not the issue. The issue really became And I'll give you the example was the parking meters that were located between Main and William Brooks on U Street. And what happens is that began, as they put coins into public parking machines, is that becomes literally a taxi stand. They're not hailed, they're not called, they're not dispatched, nothing applied to them other than they're putting in the machine, and as long as they were sitting inside of their taxi cab, they could actually do business. And so what this ordinance will do is anytime that a taxi cab is in a position to do business in a coin-operated machine in the city, set up at a public curb anywhere that's within, this ordinance would give us the teeth of enforcement to say that you cannot operate a taxi stand on public property. And again, what Kay had mentioned was on the private property, obviously we can't get into those types of disputes. That's the reason why we ended up taking out the 5 meters, making that the emergency zone that we have talked about for several years, the unloading and loading zone that's across the street as well, and doing that. There was nothing else that would prohibit them from moving from there to the Main Street, taking up public spaces on Main Street, putting in quarters. This particular, what Kay is bringing to you will help us enforce it and prohibit that type of setting up of a taxi stand business on public property. Hopefully that will clarify.
Thank you, Chief. I did see that on page 2 of the ordinance. I just wanted to make sure it was for the record and clarify, because a lot of people seem to think that they would be fine if they're picking someone up. So I just wanted to make sure that that is the idea and that the officers understand that as well.
Correct.
And so these, the way they were operating was going against what we intended to do to make that zone more safe, where people were setting up taxi stands. So.
Okay, thank you. I think we got that part. Okay, thank you, guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna go down the councils, if anyone has any questions. I know Mr. Buchanan, you abstained, but do you have any questions? He's not there. Okay, Ms. Carrasco?
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Carrasco?
No questions.
Mr. Cabrera?
No questions, and thank you guys for working on this. I know it's been a headache for a few weeks.
Thank you. Ms. Torres?
No questions.
Mr. Ponce?
No, sir. Thank you.
Mayor?
We're gonna eventually get that fixed. So many years.
All right, thank you. So that's it. Everything okay, Mayor? The rest of it?
Everything's good. Very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, hearing no other questions or concerns from council members and staff members, do I have a motion?
Vice Mayor, I just wanted to comment that Mr. Buchanan doesn't have a legal conflict of interest under the open meeting law. As far as I know, there's no pecuniary interest for him, and there's also the rule of 10 that would apply. But if there's a concern for appearance of impropriety, abstaining is also very legal as well.
Okay, thank you. I think that that's his route, so, okay. Do I have a motion?
Mayor, I make a motion and I move to approve the reading of ordinance number 407 by title only.
Thank
Second.
You, thank you, Mr. Ponce. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any against? Okay, motion, ordinance reading passes. Sonia?
Ordinance number 407, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of the City of San Luis, Arizona, amending the City Code Section 112.99, establishing a minimum fine in the border area for conducting taxicab business on public property not designated as a border area taxi stand or border area waiting stand, repealing any conflicting provisions and providing for severability and imposing a penalty.
Thank you, Sonia. Do I have a motion for item B?
Vice Mayor, I move to approve and adopt ordinance number 407, imposing a $250 minimum fine as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Ponce. Mr. Cabrera, second. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Ooh, that was a quick one. Any nays? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, staff, for working on that through the holidays. I know it was, busy time. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chief. Let's see, 5H, discussion and possible action regarding ordinance number 408, and ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, result amending the city code chapter 112, setting the border area taxi vehicle permit fee by resolution and making minor corrections to the city code, repealing any conflicting provision and providing severability. Staff?
Hello, again, this is Kay, city attorney. This item puts into an ordinance the $24 fee that was passed back in December for the permit fee for the border area taxis. As you'll see in the next item, it won't take place, it won't be imposed until 2022. I just did some cleanup things where there was reference to a code number that was incorrect, and just some other little cleanup things that I took care of while I was in there.
Okay, thank you, Kay. Any questions from Mr. Bucanas?
None, thank you.
Ms. Carrasco?
No, sir.
Mr. Cabrera?
No questions, thank you.
Ms. Torres?
Oh, no questions, thank you.
Mr. Ponce?
No, sir, thank you.
Mayor?
No, no questions, thank you.
Okay. And then for the record, this is the fee for the 35 permits, right, that we allow?
For the border area taxi vehicles to use the stand on the border, $24 fee rather than the $50 that originally we had.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other questions from anyone? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
Yes,
Mayor.
I move to approve the reading of ordinance number 408 by title only.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Torres. I got a second by Ponce and Cabrera. Recorded. All in favor? Say aye.
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 Any against? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Sonia?
Ordinance number 408, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona, amending the city code chapter 112, setting the border area taxi vehicle permit fee by resolution and making minor corrections to the city code, repealing any conflicting provisions and providing for severability.
Thank you, Sonia. Do I have a motion to approve and adopt?
Vice Mayor, I move to approve and adopt ordinance number 408.
Thank you, Mr. Ponce. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Ms. Torres. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? And for the record, Mr. Buchanan has abstained as well. Thank you. Motion passes. Item 5I, discussion and possible action regarding resolution number 2152, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of San Luis, Arizona, setting the border area taxi vehicle permit, repealing any conflicting provision, providing the severability, establishing an effective date, and declaring an emergency. Pretty much same as before.
Good evening again. This is the resolution that, so the prior one set the fee by resolution. This is the resolution that sets the fee at $24 and extends the fee that was paid last year for the permit on the border through the end of this year. And so that's what this ordinance, this resolution is doing.
Thank you, Kay. Do you have any questions from council members? Mr. Bucanas?
None, Mayor, Vice Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Carrasco?
None, Vice Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cabrera?
No questions, thank you.
Ms. Torres?
No question.
Mr. Ponce?
No, sir, thank you.
Mayor?
No questions. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second,
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any against? Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Next item of business will be, I think we're in summary current events, right? Summary of current events. This is events by mayor, council members, and city manager pursuant to 8.RS 38-431-2. Go ahead.
Vice Mayor, let me start it off here. As of this evening, we started a campaign. It's called it's going to be a vaccination campaign against COVID. The county, for example, they're in the Yuma County started a vaccination for COVID, and the thing is, they're not seeing anyone from San Luis. They're not seeing some people from Somerton. And the thing is, it's a registration process. It deals with making appointments, and some of our community members are having trouble making those appointments. So what we're going to do is, sorry guys, who also volunteered for the census and the iPads, but we're going to be helping our community schedule our members, our family members, and we're going to try to help the best we can to vaccinate as many community members as possible. And I know we're limited in the amount of vaccines we're going to be getting, but the thing is, our slots need to be filled up. So this campaign started today, and I'm going to ask each council member to help also, because it's very important we all get vaccinated, especially our family members and our community members. The quicker we can vaccinate, the quicker we can open the senior center, and that's my hope. And so the campaign is going to be nonstop, and we're going to be asking for volunteers. Okay, so thank you. We thought the census was done, but now we start a new census. How can we vaccinate the most members of our community? Okay, so Godspeed, and let's work on it. Okay, thank you.
Mayor, if I may ask, is there a possibility, because people have been approaching me asking if they're gonna come and have the vaccine here in San Luis, if they can get the shot here? Do you know if that's a possibility?
I'm working on it. I'm actually working with, I'm gonna be working with the hospital. I'm also be working with the state. I'm gonna try to get some for us here. If we can have Cesar Padilla or a community center where we can give injections, so be it. So I'll be working on that next week. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. I know Walmart is going to be administering vaccines, but I'm not sure when they're going to get them. So.
Yeah, the problem is the storage, and the thing is, no, we're working on it. Trust me. I should be making some phone calls to the state on Monday and Tuesday, and so I'm gonna get the governor. They owe me, so I need some vaccines. Okay, so thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor.
That sounds great, Mayor. Thank you. Because I know I've also had people say they've made the appointment, pero que no hay vaccine. So they're like, what's the point if there's no vaccine? So I don't know how that works, but appreciate that. That's a good idea.
No, we're in dire need. Okay, so trust me, we're
Mayor, I'm so glad that you're working on this. As a matter of fact, today I tried to register my mom. She's of age to qualifies for the vaccine like now, but there's no through the county. Yeah, through the county. I went up until I think May, and there's none or no appointments and nothing available.
No,
so thankful to you for coming up with this, Mayor.
No, verás que sí. We're gonna make it happen, okay? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else have anything in summary events, current events?
Well, Mayor, what about the COVID-19 testing?
COVID testing, well, it's still gonna be occurring. And the thing is, we need more fast, of the fast ones, about the hour ones. And, we should be getting more testing. The University of Arizona, they do a spit test. And the thing is, my son had, 2 of them done one day. And so, I think, we should, I should be advocating for more of those rapid tests. And so, it's otra cosa, just another branch. But let's work on it, okay? Porque it's no longer acceptable. 3 or 4 days is no longer acceptable, okay? So, we were definitely going to do some more testing, okay?
They're 5 to 7 days right now, shoot. Yeah.
No, this is not acceptable. So I'm going to working on that also, okay? So take care, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor.
Anything else? Any other summary events or anything? Anyone else?
I do want to share, Vice Mayor. I heard the state of address regarding the school closures and the funding. So I know a lot of teachers were upset because of what was said by the governor, and I think schools should remain closed for now. I know the superintendent of instruction shared that she wants schools to remain hybrid, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting for our schools.
Yeah.
At least in regards to that topic, I actually had a little discussion with Kay today. And the thing is, we're going to try to challenge, especially the sports in the high school. We're gonna try to challenge. Actually, we're gonna try to go to the court system. And the thing is, we're trying to go legal on this one. So, a ver qué pasa. So let's hope we have the backing of our local officials, because it's not fair that the governor is deciding upon himself and his staff to do something like this. They don't know our community. They don't know our needs. They don't know our epidemic status. And the thing is, they have an idea, but the thing is, people making decisions are not the right people. Okay, so we're gonna challenge them. Okay, so but I need the support from the school system, and it's something that we're gonna try to challenge. Okay, so just so that you guys know.
Thank you, Mayor. Keep us in the loop, and if you need any help, I'm willing to help out.
Gracias, Luis. Take care.
Okay.
Mayor, same thing. If you need any help, with vaccines or something, let me know. And
okay.
Also, I'd like to add that pretty soon we're going to be helping our community with assisting them with the filing the income tax to the VITA program. Last night, the group we got together with the group last night, and just to review the changes of the new changes of on the income tax laws. So probably maybe by the 20th of this month, we're going to start assisting the people. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Gracias. Folks, I'll probably be needing some assistance también, okay?
Yes,
Just kidding.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other current events or summaries from anyone? Hearing
Vice
none?
Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Carrasco?
just want to report real quick that I attended the library meeting, Board of Trustees meeting last night. It was a short, brief meeting. Nothing really going on in the libraries in Yuma County. They are getting ready for the Heritage Libraries 100th year anniversary. They had a lot of plans, but because of COVID, they're gonna do mostly all virtual, but I'll keep you guys posted, because that's gonna be a very nice event for all of us to at least attend virtually. So I'll keep you guys posted on that.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? None? Anything else? Mr. Tadeo, anything from the city?
No, we're doing fine. Just wanted to add on the comment about the vaccines in the campaign that we were starting. However, it is important to know, to let our residents know that they don't have to wait on their employer to schedule their vaccines. They can go to the portal, and of course, there's none available at the moment, but if there are any, they can schedule them themselves, and we'll be assisting them if they don't have access to internet or need help scheduling them. Thanks for asking.
Thank you. Yeah, and I want to say thank you to staff. I know Marlene with Louis at Parks have been working on the binational campaign to wear your mask, to continue that campaign forward. And I believe they're also doing the testing for our farm field workers. I believe there's 2 days set up. You guys should have that in your email. So thank you to them for working on that and keeping us in the loop regarding that. Okay. If that's it, no more stuff.
One more thing, Mayor.
Yes.
I saw in San Luis Rio Colorado, Sonora, they're also administering the vaccine now to the healthcare workers. So I think that's awesome that San Luis Rio Colorado is also getting the vaccine.
Okay.
I heard that they're also doing that, so I'm curious what vaccine they got. So
I think it's a Moderna one, Mayor, because I have a cousin who works as a nurse, and she posted the little flyer and it said it was a Moderna brand.
perfect. I get one. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Okay. Anything else? Nothing else for the order? All right. Here none. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion. We got a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right. Any nays? All right. Motion passes. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you, guys.